Hi, my name is Steven, and I'm going to go through some of the basics about managing your website through WordPress, if your website was built in WordPress. So here I am on a website built in WordPress, OC Haley Boulevard, and what I'm going to do is run through how to update this for future changes, basic future changes. So I'm going to log into WP admin, which is the address of where you can log in for the admin section of your website. Once you log in, you'll see your dashboard. This gives you a basic rundown of what your website looks like. So you got 2 posts, 13 pages, 1 category, 1 event. Here you can quickly post a news update or something, but basically what I'm going to do is run through all of these different tabs over here and show you how you can effectively manage your website through here using basic, simple computer knowledge. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Post. Post is where all of your news articles and updates for your website sit. So right now we have 2 posts, which are both news articles, and I'll show you on the website itself in the news section. You see here are 2 posts. Instead of creating another post, what I'm going to do is go into one of the posts and show you around and what it looks like. So this post was created, just by this box right here. Works mostly like Microsoft Word. There's not really a whole lot of complexity to it. You got your basic functions up here, similar to Word. You can bold, italicize text, stuff like that. The one thing I will point out is this more thing, and you'll see this is a insert more tag. What this insert more tag does right here is this post is pretty long, so instead of having the entire post appear on your news section, what it does is it creates this continue reading link that links this post directly to the rest of the post, so people can continue reading your post. You can also get to the entire content of the post by clicking on the title of the post, and you'll see that we can see the entire content of the post, and people can leave comments if they like. That's to avoid having the entire long post in here and leave more space so that people can see multiple news stories all at once, rather than having to scroll to get to the later stories. Also right here they can get recent news as well, so if I click here I can get back to my post as well. Let's see, the other thing I'll point out is inserting images in here. In order to insert an image, what you would do is click right here, upload insert. This allows you to drag files, whether it be text files or pictures or any type of document right here, and it'll automatically upload. So if I drag this test in here, it'll automatically upload my file, and I'll be good to go, and I can use it. In the media library we have all of the files that we've already uploaded. So if I wanted to insert this particular image into my post, I can title it if I like. I can link it somewhere other than the image itself. By default it's linked to itself. I can also align it any way I like. I can also select the size. So if I insert posts using the default options, because I haven't changed anything, see what it'll do is it'll align it to the left side and link it to itself. So if I press update, you'll see that when I go to actually update the website, my image is right there. And what this website actually has is Fancy Box. So when I click on the image in order to expand it, it pops up with this Fancy Box in order to show the image, rather than taking you to another part of the site to show you the image. So that's the way that works. But like I said earlier, I can also link this to other parts of the site, or anywhere I would like. I think that's it in terms of this part. Oh, I also wanted to run through the links. So if I wanted to link 538 North Rampart to something, I would highlight it and press the link button right here and link that to either a URL, like let's say another website or something, or to current content on my site. And you'll see I can link it to any post, any page, or any event on this website. So it's pretty nice, especially if you have a large amount of data. You can search for content, and it'll show you, what content has the word main in it. So it's pretty nice. Obviously, I didn't insert a link. There's a couple of other things like font family, which is basically like, similar to Word. You can select your font family and your text size, also similar to Word. So I think that's about it for the post section. In the events section, events is similar to post in the sense that you get the same text box that pops up with all of the features available. And you see I have a couple of pictures in here as well. However, you get a couple more options on the bottom. So we get to select the start times and date. If I wanted to repeat the event, like let's say it's a recurring event weekly, I don't know, you may have something that occurs weekly, I can press repeat and the menu pops up similar to like Microsoft Outlook. I can select, I want to repeat this every week on Monday, and it stops after a certain date or something like that. So I can do that. I can also specify my venue name, my address. I can choose to show Google Maps. I can specify my cost, all the rest of this. And I can also allow or disallow comments over here. So the one event that I have on here is under community, and it's Central City Fest. Oh, and you'll notice when I go back to my news, my picture isn't there anymore. That's because I deleted it and refreshed the page. So if I go to Central City Fest, you see all of my options below that post are specified above, and you see my map is shown here. And I also have my post content down here, and notice it says comments are closed, meaning that I did not allow people to post comments. In some cases you may want to allow people to post comments, in other cases you may not. Comments can be used as spam on websites, so just be careful about that fact, because other people may come onto your site and spam your site with comments. So I've had that happen a couple of times. There's a plugin installed on this website to protect it from spam. So hopefully most of the spam will be picked up by that plugin, and you can feel free to use comments at your leisure. Media is where all of your pictures are. So like you saw when I went to go in here and pressed upload insert, that's my media, and that's where all of my media that I've uploaded to the site is held. And you'll see you have PDFs over here, and you have a text file here, so you have a couple of different things other than just images. If I wanted to add new media here, I would click add new, and notice it looks exactly like the upload insert menu, and I can drag files into here, and then they'll be uploaded. So it's a way to manage all of your content on your website in terms of images and text files and documents and PDFs and stuff like that. Links is something I don't really use, so I'm not going to go through it. Pages. Pages is all of the pages that we currently have on our website. So you'll notice the first one's About Us. If I go to About Us here, this is what the page looks like. You'll notice it comes up with the same text box, and I've also changed the template to be a sidebar template. I either use default or sidebar. Default, I'll show you what that looks like. If I change it to default and refresh this page, notice the sidebar goes away. However, since there's not a lot of text here, and I don't really care about, allowing the text, I don't really care about everything else, and I want the sidebar to be there, I'm going to allow the sidebar, and we're going to go through how to update your sidebar later. But basically, you'll notice that the sidebar comes back up. The rest of this is pretty much the same. You'll notice allow comments is also on here, and this is the type of thing where you don't really want to allow comments, because what are people going to comment about here? So, I disallowed comments, disallowed these trackball and pingbacks. So that's pretty much it about pages. It's pretty easy to add a new page. I just go to add new right here. If I want to edit a page, I can edit it right here and then press update, and it'll update all my changes. Pretty easy to add pages. Comments, when you actually get comments, you'll see comments show up here. You can delete them, you can mark them as spam. The plugin will actually pick up comments that it thinks are spam automatically and put them in the spam section. Notice that we got no comments on this site yet, but hopefully in the future that will change. The map section is what's controlling your maps. So there is one map section on this website, and it's merchants under the business category. And it has all of our merchants on here along with a map showing where they are. And you'll notice the icons directly tie to the map itself. See, so this is Ash Cultural Center. And if I click on the icon, it shows Ash Cultural Center. So what I've done here is I have a layer, and you see I'll go to my layer, and it's OC Haley map right here, and you see this is my layer. So this is the map that I'm going to use in order to assign all of these locations to. So basically it asks me to enter a location, and when you actually go and type something in here like 1712, it'll start to auto-fill it, and you can click right there, and these coordinates will change automatically. Then you can select your map size and any of your other options, and then you'll say, do you want a list of maps underneath the map? Yes. And you'll see your markers underneath the map. The markers are a totally different thing, and if we go to the markers, that's each particular location. So you'll notice the map for each marker doesn't look the same. Look, you see it's all, it doesn't look the same, but it doesn't matter because we're using that one map, which is our layer, to control what the map looks like, and then the markers only control the location and the particular icon that we're going to use and the particular set of information that we want to pop up when we actually click on a marker, which is this, which is a similar text box to everything else that we've been using. So, sorry, I zoomed in too far. So when I click on this Ash Cultural Center, you'll notice that this text pops up, and this is the same text that we have right here. So it's pretty handy, and we can assign it to the layer that we want it to be on. You see? So right now I have it assigned to O.C. Haley Street, and that's my layer, which is this map. So maps can be a little confusing. If you have any questions, you can feel free to shoot me an email or just ask me a question at any point. But this map is set up. If I want to add a new marker to this map, I would come in here, select the layer, which is O.C. Haley Street, name the marker, and select the location for that map. So if I want to do 123 123rd Street, New York City, it'll go to New York. I can pick the marker that I want and press add the marker, and it'll show up on this layer. Well, it won't show up on this layer because this layer is zoomed into New Orleans, but if I zoom out all the way to New York City, it'll show up. So that's pretty much the way that works. And like I said, you can ask me any questions about that. Appearance, there's a couple of things under appearance. Number one, there's a theme. This is a custom theme created for this website because we wanted to use all this beautiful graphic art on here. So this is a custom theme, so don't worry about it. Widgets are that sidebar that I showed you earlier. If you go to news, you'll notice the sidebar on here. And the sidebar has upcoming events and recent posts. See, upcoming events and recent news. I changed the title to say recent news. And if you click on here, there's a number of different options. So there's limit event to these categories or tags, blah blah blah. Show view map option, show subscribe button, hide widget when on calendar page. And then I have recent news too, and it shows how many posts do you want to show under here. I said 5. So if we get to like 6 or 7, it's only going to show the 5 most recent news comments. There's a couple of other things you can show as well. I mean, there's just text. If I wanted to add that, I could add that. If I had something I wanted to be on my sidebar, I can add my calendar if I want, a calendar to be on my sidebar. I can also add my pages on my sidebar, and I'll show you what this looks like. And if I press save and refresh this page, you'll notice it shows up all of my pages. I mean, this is a little messed up right now because it goes over the allotted amount of space by this theme, but you get a sense for what it can do. So I'm gonna erase that, and refresh. And there you go. My pages are back to normal. So for the most part, I try to keep the sidebar simple, because I find if you have too much stuff over here, people don't look at it. And you have your two most important things on here right now, in my opinion, which is upcoming events and recent news. So people can stay up to date on what your website is doing. And this would be a great time. For example, right now, I know this website has like Central City Fest on here. That's an upcoming event for them, and they have all of these sponsors or whatever. But once the event passes and they want to bring a little more emphasis to the website itself, see, I'll have all this great text about the organization itself. We can go to our pages, edit the home page, and change it to a sidebar template. That way we can have our recent events and recent news show up on the right side of this home page. Okay, back to this. The menus. The menus show you what is currently. This is our menu for our website right here. And you'll notice some of them have drop-down options like About Us. You'll notice this matches up perfectly to what this is right here. So you got Home, News, About Us, and you'll notice you got 4 options underneath About Us. You see in how I kind of pushed it over a little bit? Sorry, I can't seem to grab it. If I wanted to add something to my menu, you see I added history. If I wanted to add something to the right of this menu or something, I could do that. So anyway, it's like a drag and drop type of interface here. So I have community with Central City Fest. So that's another great thing about the menu. It gives you the ability to add your events to the menu itself. So right now I only have Central City Fest, but I added it under community. So it's not a page, it's an event, but I'm still able to add it to the menu. And it's the same thing with the post as well. You'll notice that one of our posts, well, for right now I can't find it, but anyway, you can pretty much add a link to anything you want. And you'll notice this last item on here. This is actually a link to Aretha Castle-Haley's Facebook page, but it also opens it up in a new window. And this is some custom code in here with a Facebook link. So that's what that is. Theme options. Let me make sure I didn't change anything. Okay. Theme options. You don't really have a lot here. I wouldn't worry about this because you are on a custom theme, so I wouldn't worry about that. Header. Again, you're on a custom theme, so I wouldn't worry about that. Background. I just simply chose this background right here. You can feel free to change this background by choosing a color, or you can choose an image if you find something that you like. Editor, I wouldn't really worry about that. That was the custom code written for this website. Plugins. You have a couple of plugins plugged into here. A lot of them I've already ran through. Again, I wouldn't worry about that. Sometimes it'll ask you to update a plugin. I would update plugins as often as possible, just to make sure you stay up to date. Users, we have 2 users right now. Myself, which is admin, and Dorian, who is another user. Tools. We don't really have a lot here. We have a table tool that we can make. We can create tables off of, and you'll notice under business, under properties available, we have a nice table here, and then we created this using the table tool. And you can import CSV files or Excel files into here, and it's pretty basic. I mean, it's pretty basic. You got, your address here. This is your column headers, and I did specify over here in my first row is my column headers. There's a lot of options here. I'm not really sure how much I want to get into this. And then settings. Settings has a couple of things. The two most important thing are in discussion probably. Right now, by default, I'm allowing pingbacks and trackbacks from other blogs, and I'm also allowing people to post comments. These two things you may want to uncheck. So basically, when you're posting a new news article, your news articles are able to be commented on, as you'll see right here. You see, you can leave a comment here. So those are two things you may want to uncheck, and then check them individually when you do want comments to be left. So, that's your own personal preference. And then we have our contact form, which is pretty much controlling this right here. So that's a basic run through of the website. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Anyway, this is Steven with TeleEdge. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.